Hi guys, thanks for clicking on this video. I have some 2 cents to spill about locks. What do I know about locks, you may ask? I've been locked for a little over a year, and in that time I have learned some things about my hair. And I've been the only caretaker of my hair for at least 15 years. So learning even more about it has really thrown me for a loop. Honestly, with all the other hairstyles I've had, straight, relaxed, curly, weave, never been a wig girl, but I did sew-ins, okay? I did all of that. I can't even explain how much I love my locks. And I'm gonna talk about 5 things nobody told me about locks. And when I say like nobody mentioned in the YouTube videos, like I got the tea for y'all, for real. So if you want to hear it, then keep watching. Okay, first, I would like to speak some words about I remember the first time I looked up the price of a retwist. $1,200 was the first price I had ever seen for a retwist. Mind you, I know natural hair is very intentional and it takes a lot of care. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy. However, locks, in my opinion, are the easiest type of hair to care for with, I guess, black people hair. It's the most logical in my opinion, and it's the easiest. It's the simplest, not easiest. That's not true. It's the simplest way of maintaining natural hair in my opinion. So why are the retwists so expensive? I mean, $1,200 is actually insanity. It was even more crazy to me after I got my first one. I didn't pay for it. My sisters and I pretty much always took care of our own hair. I do have an older sister, my oldest sister. She took care of my hair until I was about 14 or 15, and that's when I started taking the reins. She also did my very first professional retwist. So she's been in the hair game for a while now, and she was using me as a test dummy. Free retwist, because who's paying $1,200? I just simply won't get one. I just simply won't get got. I'm not saying that all locticians charge that. I actually don't even know if that's the average amount. It could just be that person was being ridiculous, but I feel like that is, I've seen anywhere from $500 to $1,200 for a retwist, and the wash isn't included. Like that right there, mind blown. And I didn't think to look up, oh, how much would a retwist be before locking my hair? I just assumed it would be, you know, like a few hundred, maybe. But that's a little bit more than a few. That's a many hundred. That's many. The next thing that nobody told me about locks is how versatile they are. I literally woke up, threw this thing into whatever this is, and this is the cutest hairstyle I've had in years. Did my own retwist. Saved me $1,200. But I also, if I hadn't done my own retwist, I personally love my hair in its natural state. Post retwist, a few months post retwist is actually one of my favorite times for my hair. But at all times, can I do pretty much whatever I want with it. Obviously, I have length. I didn't start my lock journey with short hair, so I've always been able to just kind of throw it around and have it mold into what I want. But locks are just something different. I feel like each individual lock is like a part of you and tells like a different part of your story. Especially, I'd installed my own locks as well, so I have some that are skinny, I have some that are really thick, and I have some that are installed really well, then I have some others I was like, I'm ready to be done. Like if you're a stickler for perfect parts, for like that perfect clean, like slick, I gotta have it all in one place look, baby, go get a loctician, paid that $1,200. Honestly, I'm not doing that. I'm not picking through the parts. Not only is it time consuming, but that hurts. So like I said, locks are very versatile. I have 2-strand twists in the back, and then I have the barrel twist in the front, and then I have these just hanging. It's a party. Like we're just all having fun, and I look cute. And ask Chloe Bailey and Halle Bailey, that's how they all bamboozled us, because we thought those locks were, their locks were super, super long, but we see how they can not only do locks attached with weave, crochet, people wear wigs over locks, full installs with, and then you still have locks, y'all. Okay, so the next thing that nobody told me is that retwists fucking hurt. They do. I don't know why this wasn't a given. I guess if you really think about your hair constantly locking day after day, really moment to moment, and then you're kind of ripping it out of that lock to make it pretty, your scalp's like, hold on, I thought you were letting me have free, I thought we were doing what we want to do. Why are you ripping me apart? I want to look cute. I remember doing my very first retwist on myself. Yo, they were almost out until I realized that it actually doesn't have to be like that. This retwist didn't hurt at all. I didn't take a rake and make these super perfect lines. I took what was there and I made it work. Don't look at the back. The back is the barn door's business, not mine. So I took what I had and I made it work, and I realized that I could actually do this all the time. I remember when I did my first retwist, I said, I'm gonna have to like pick every single little hair every single time, and if I don't, God knows what. It's just not true. You can kind of glide over. I just let my hair move where it wants to move. This is how I treated my hair when it was curly. Your hair is gonna do whatever it wants at all times. I feel like locks are a good way to kind of control the chaos, but even them at their very base cannot be controlled because our hair just really isn't meant for that. And that's why I'm such a stickler for doing whatever you want with your locks. Styling them however you want, not styling them, having 3 locks, having 50,000. It's all up to you. Just know them retwists gonna hurt. I feel like they'll hurt until they don't. And if you tender-headed like me, they still gonna hurt just a little bit. Like I can kind of feel when I had my hair done, me actually picking at my scalp. I don't do that anymore. It's just not worth it to me. And if you like that clean, crisp look, baby, go get it, go do it. I'm not going with you. Okay. Another thing no one told me, or at least I should say this is kind of a concept that is debatable, the ugly phase. Now, of course you're saying, you could have never had that, Nay. What do you mean? But my hair was looking crusty from time to time. And it's something about wanting locks because they're trending, and it's something about wanting locks because you feel that is basically what your hair is asking for. I move in ways that my hair asks me to move, and I think that's maybe spiritual property or spiritual way that I move with my intuition, I should say. I feel like the ugly phase is so not ugly and so necessary. You and your locks are peas in a pod. I can't speak for people who started off with like tiny locks and have grown floor length. I can't speak for anybody but for me, but I can say this. Your locks are a reflection of who you are. Because locks are so intentional, every single one that you give your attention or your intention to, it can either make or break, honestly, your reality. And it wasn't until I stopped looking at my ugly phase as an ugly phase that I actually fell in love with my locks. Because during the ugly phase, there's more frizz, okay? There's a lot of volume. I already got enough forehead for everybody, so I was giving very big head, very small hair. When I say volume, there was just a lot of puff at the roots, but not like big, to offset this lovely cylinder. And that's not easy. I feel like it's the same kind of energy if you do a big chop, especially if you got a head like mine. I did that too. That's another story. Am I gonna love my hair through this, or am I going to reduce the way I look right now, the way that I'm feeling about my looks to the way that I am? Like, am I gonna put that weight on my locks? Like, I feel like you could either immerse them with love during the ugly stage, or you can that's what I feel like a lot of people give up on the lock stage because the ugly part is just too much for them. And I wasn't ugly and never have been, but my locks were not always the way that I wanted them to be. It takes time it takes patience. And I feel like the lock journey actually teaches you both of those things. And then you get to like revel in this big abundance of beautifulness. That's why they say trust the process. I am right there with you. I've been through every kind of hair heartbreak that there can be. Right before I locked my hair, I was considering shaving my head. I literally can't imagine what would have happened if I didn't lock my hair again. Like, the next thing that no one told me before I got locks, and I couldn't find anywhere on the internet, is that locks kind of mimic plants. And I feel like there's one waving at me right now. Hi, plant. I would turn my camera, but it took too much to get it set up like this. I've had curly hair my whole life. I've also been black my whole life. I know how water interacts with our hair, but it's something about locks that when I saw it happening, I felt like a tree, or like literally like a plant coming back to life. It doesn't matter where you are in your lock journey. You could be day 2, okay, month 6. Water is always going to be the reviving factor of how not only your locks feel, but look. And they interact with water the same way that plants do. You know, in the ugly phase, you be looking kind of crusty. When's the last time you watered your hair? I can also only speak for people with my hair texture, because I know locks are different for different hair types. I think the coilier your hair is, the more you should get locks, because it is made for that almost. My hair is like 4A, 4B-ish, so it took about 8 or 9 months for it to start locking. But I know people with 4B, mostly in 4C hair, their hair can lock in like a few months, maybe a month. I've seen that too. Crazy. But water is literally like the congealing factor of everything with locks. When I drink water, so do my locks. And it's like that for hair, right? But if you ever watch a lock come to life, I'm gonna find a video of a lock coming back to life with water and a plant coming back, and we're gonna watch how they do the same thing and how they're both dramatic. So once you start being your hair, being you, in spite of, you might have 3 locks going that way, this one at the top locked, this one super flowed, this one just unraveling, girl. It could be all of that, but at the same time, you want locks. You still want locks, so you're gonna buckle down and you're gonna give them what they need, and they're going to return that favor to you. And this is just something that I have loved. Like, it's been my favorite part of this lock journey. Y'all getting choked up. It's just something about being intentional with every single lock. Like, when you think of a lock, I think of like a lock and key. Like, we locked in. Once we locked in, ain't no switching up. And that's not saying that you can't ever cut your hair or ever, like I said, this is my 2nd set. I foamed out my 1st set. So I'm not telling nobody what to do with their hair. I'm telling you what I did with mine and why I did it and why it helped me, girl. So I hope you enjoyed those 5 things that nobody let me know when I was getting ready to lock my hair. And I hope that it either inspired you to go get your locks installed or to take them out, girl, if it's not aligned with you. It's your choice. But if you enjoyed this video, then please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.